Hey guys, it is Thursday here in West Virginia, and I'm bringing you a bonus video for this week. We are going to unbox and assemble the first Mopar truck model kit from M2. We assembled the second kit this past Monday, and it's a great looking truck, stock 2-wheel drive truck with a two-tone red and like off-white, eggshell white paint job. This one, however, is more aggressive. It's slammed on the ground, and it's got the Hellcat engine and a aftermarket hood that looks like a Hellcat hood and a tail stripe with the Hellcat image in it. So, pretty cool looking adventure pickup. Now, if you watch my second video this week, you've seen that I took the Adventure stock 2-wheel drive and swapped the base out for a 4-wheel drive base, and it looks great as a 4-wheel drive truck. I did that for my Truckin' Tuesday video when we unboxed the Ram Charger. So, we may see this truck here with some different wheels and tires on it, or maybe a different base than what it comes with later on. I don't know. But yeah, these wheels here are really cool. The turbine looking wheels. They have been on a lot of square bodies and some of these Dodge trucks, but the blacked out 5 slots look pretty good too. They kind of have that retro look to them, like the old hot rod wheels from the 60s and 70s, the, I guess, ET slots they were called. And anyways, I'm not sure I like either one on this truck, though. I have some leftover Foose wheels from a K5 Blazer kit that I may put on this. Don't know, but we're just going to assemble it today, probably with the turbine wheels. So let's get this guy out of the package and look at him. Now, they did make a chase of this. They usually make a chase of all of them, but even the regular release, they didn't make too many of them. 9,250 pieces. I mean, that is a lot, but compared to what they make of other brands, it's very limited compared to other brands. 750 chase pieces, so I guess 10,000 total worldwide. Recommended for 8 and older, M2 machines with your Dodge emblem, and this is a 1976 Dodge Adventure 150 Custom, and release 61. And as you can see close up, there are those black ET slot looking wheels. And then you get the choice of putting in a stock, stock slant 6, or a Hemi, a modern Hemi, that is, the Hellcat supercharged Hemi. And then there are your turbine wheels, and there is your back bumper. That's kind of odd that they put the back bumper separate, but they did. So anyways, and the plate, the vanity plates, is 1976. So that's kind of a strange one. But I've showed you before on the lifted bases, there's no holes. Well, there's holes, but the base does not slip through. And I've already cut this open, as you can see. And then the back of the package just has the SRT Hellcat emblem image on it. Well, back to the story I was telling you. As you know, I've showed you how to base swap these, and as you had noticed in my video, the base of a lowered one, a slammed one, the tailpipes go through the rear roll pan, and the bumper doesn't have the female, or doesn't have the male ends. It actually has female ends on it, where it pushes onto those tabs that are like the exhaust tips sticking through. And then the lifted chassis doesn't have the female ends on its bumper. It has the male ends that slide through those holes. So that's the difference. I wanted to point that out in my chassis swap video, which we did. So if you have any questions on that, go back and look at the video I did about 3 weeks ago on base swap being the new Dodge Adventure Power Wagon trucks from M2. So you have a red lift that has Dodge on one pillar and such, and then the body is screwed down to this base, and you can take this base, if you have any of the acrylic domes, you can take the lift off and put the acrylic dome on it when the truck's assembled, which that's kind of what I was doing with the Adventure, the first well, the second one that we did first. I did that, and I put the dome on it, put it in display, and it looked really good, but then I decided to base swap it, so now it's just sitting out on the shelf as a 4-wheel drive, and I put the 2-wheel drive base on a Ram Charger's body. So swapping them all around again. So anyways, you get this tray. It has the cover on it so the parts don't spill everywhere when you open it up. It's held down with just a couple pieces of tape, so you can like finagle the tape up like so, and then your top should just flip right up like that. Actually, let me lower this down since we're okay. Right there is good. And then one thing cool about these model kits, probably you guys have noticed this, but they give you a color like coded color matching screwdriver with every kit. Like the white and red one we did the other day, I think had a red screwdriver also, but like the K5 Blazer, the Foose one that I did, it's green and black. That one has a green screwdriver. So it's pretty cool how they color coordinate the screwdrivers with the trucks. So anyways, here's a little package. It comes with 4 axles, which is really cool. So if you cannot get your wheels and tires to stay on, you could actually glue them onto the axle and such, and you don't have to worry about like having axles for the other wheels if you find something that you want to put it on, because sometimes these non-bird ends have a tendency not to go in the wheel very well. I should get that on camera, sorry. So you get 2 short ones and 2 longer ones, as you can see here. If I go focus again, there we go. So 2 short ones, 2 longer ones. Not very much longer, but sometimes they mess up and give you 4 of the same length, and you can just cut them down with a pair of side cutters, wire cutters, and such. But anyways, you also get a choice of engines. As I showed you while it was in there, you get that nicely detailed with the root style supercharger. And then this is kind of unique because it's much different than a lot of these models. They actually used a slant 6, it looks like, not a 318 or 360, which would have been in one of these trucks back in the late 70s. They went with the slant 6, like the basic work truck. So that's pretty cool. But we're obviously going to go with the Hemi since it already says it's a Hellcat. Really, there's not even any kind of choice there. You would have to use the Hemi, in my opinion. And then the bumper. And as you can see, as I was pointing out a moment ago, that these bumpers, focus, have, yeah, there we go, it was a second ago, there we go. It has female ends on it, not male ends. So, anyways, I'll go ahead and do the turbine wheels, get them on the tires, or get the tires on the turbine wheels, I should say. And what's cool, these tires and such are very durable. Some of the Pro Street models, though, however, they're not so durable. They're really hard compound, and you have to really, really work at getting those tires on the rim. And these, there are 2 wider tires and then 2 narrower tires, but it's really hard to tell. So as you can see, it's just a hair bit wider. Same thing with the wheels. You get one that is just a little bit narrower than the others. So we'll find our 2 wider wheels. That would be these guys here with the bigger nipples on the back where the axle slides in. Sorry about that focusing issue we have here, guys. So these are the wider ones, and then, as I said, the tire just kind of pops right in, or right on. The wheel pops right in. So, not much work to get them to go on. And then the truck, we got to get him off the base there in just a moment. And there it is. And I'm surprised they have not used any Pro Street style tires and wheels on these Adventurers like they do with the square bodies. And it's the same thing. You just take the through screws out of the bottom of the base, and then the truck will come right off. The lift is held on by 4 screws, 1 on each corner, so that can be taken off. As I said, if you want to take it off and get one of your acrylic domes, you can, like from a car that you've opened and put in a display case somewhere. So I'm just going to toss this off to the side here. Here's the truck with the chassis button down. And usually with these, with the full wheel openings, you do not have to take the base off to put the wheels and tires on it. Some of the others that are, excuse me, like the 57 Chevy that cover half the tire, sometimes you have to take the chassis off because you cannot finagle the wheel and tire into there and put the axle on. Excuse me, sometimes the Pro Street cars are the same way. They got the wide sidewall and you can't get them up in there with the axle, so sometimes you have to take the base off, but that's not the case with this one. And as I mentioned, it has a really cool looking modernized hood, and it's really stuck down. So, alright, so we got it to pop up there, and then this is a pretty simple install. You just kind of put it in there, and then push down, snap, and then your engine's installed. It's that simple. Come on, focus. There we go. So pretty cool. And I was pointing out before that the bed size is like a little short on these, especially on the white ones, but on colored ones, it's not so bad. As you can see, this doesn't look that bad at all. But we came to the conclusion that what it is, the bed sides are tapered in a little bit further than the cab on the very bottom, so it makes it look shorter, but it's really not. Unfortunately, you can't even bend them out because the back of the bed is there holding them in place. If you didn't have that back of the bed there, then you could, but it's not the case. So you have to live with the tapered in a little bit too far. But they still look good, especially in colored form. Or colors, I should say, not colored form, but with colors like red, blue, something like that, it doesn't look as bad. But the white highlights it for some reason. I guess because it's a high impact, vibrant color. As dull as white is, but it's true. It's really bright and highlights a lot of stuff. So you can see the female ends, and then you can see the base does slide through. And I guess if you really wanted to do some custom stuff, you could make some tips and put on it and just leave it like that and say it's a roll pan. That would be cool. I thought about that before. But your bumper, actually, let me move this up real quick, guys. That way it's a little bit easier to see what I'm doing, and you guys can see what I'm doing. And then the bumper kind of just goes right there and pops right on. As easy as that. And then we'll go to our axles and take them out. Right. No. There's the long ones and then the short ones. So let's find the wider tire here. I'll put that in there. See, these are a little bit harder to push on, just like the last Dodge truck. Not like my Blazer. My Blazer, it is kind of fell in there. And it got to the point where I had to glue the tires on so they would stay on. But these don't seem to be that way. So what I do, I just get a pair of needle nose and then get it to start and then work the wheel onto the tip, just turning back and forth and pushing at the same time. Usually does the trick. And then I will go down here and slide it in. But you know what? Since this thing's slammed, I bet I am going to have to take the base loose. So, sorry guys, I was wrong about that. I was dealing with the two-wheel drive chassis yesterday, and it was simple because, well, it was at standard ride height. It wasn't slammed, but with this slammed base, you have just enough of the tire and wheel sticking in underneath the truck to give you a little bit of a problem. Alright, so as you can see, those things slide in and out. That's the thing with the sorry, lost track of thought there because I was trying to find the wheel and tire here. There we go. So, anyways, let me get the other wide one here and pop him on. Yeah, actually, I guess it'll work, but yeah, it's using every bit of that axle up, which is cool. But if you want to have a little bit of slack side to side, which most of the time they do have, you may want to use both long ones. I don't know. So, anyways, we're going to go to one of the longer ones now and pop that on the front tire here. Yeah, sorry guys, this video is going a little longer than I wanted. I didn't think the truck was going to have to be taken off the chassis, the truck's body off the chassis, I should say. And I thought these wheels would slide right on like the Foose truck, but I underestimated their quality control on this one. They're a little bit better on this one than the Foose one. So, as you can see, this has a lot of axle sticking through, and it may actually still need trimmed down a little. And once again, I just kind of work them like that. And yeah, it's probably going to need trimmed down. Anyways, let's go ahead and shove the body, or the chassis, back on the body. Yeah, that's the case too. The back end, it looks good. It moves, but the front tires are hitting the fenders, so it's going to have to be trimmed. So that's what I've been running into with some of these M2 axles. They've needed trimmed down, but I'm not going to let this video go any longer. So that's basically your finished product, and that's what you're going to run into if you try to assemble one. I may be able to work that on there a little bit more, the front axle. The back axle seems to do okay, but the front axle, I'm going to have to work on the front wheels. I'm going to have to work on the axle a little bit more, and if I can't get them to slide up on there any further, I'm going to have to trim it. So that's pretty much it, guys. There's your SRT adventure. Thanks for watching, and sorry about taking so long. And I will see you again tomorrow for our Free It Friday. We're going to do a Funny Car Friday with some more classic drag strip demons. Thanks for watching, guys.